This question usually puts me in a quandary, and I'm going to give you an answer. It may not suffice, but I'm going to give you an answer. Why do football coaches yell so much? Once again, football is by nature, it is a very emotional sport. Although it may seem that the coaches are yelling a lot at the players, please be aware that it's rarely a personal attack on any one player, but it is rather to get the attention of one or more players to make sure that instructions are heard. There's a lot of activities going on. You have 26, 23 young men and women, and instructions are important. They're important to safety, they're important to learning. So the decibel levels are risen sometimes. However, and I state this firmly, as a board member and a coach, however, if you are in a situation where you feel that a coach is yelling to demean or humiliate or degrade a player, it is not an option. It is your responsibility to notify NMYAFL immediately. If you have more kids sign up late, why can't you just make another team? This become a logistic issue for us. Once schedules are made and game jerseys have been issued, it becomes difficult for more teams to be formed. It's due to, we do have a minimum to start a team, and that's 16 players. It is also a lack of coaches and a lack of playing spaces that we do not continue to expand our league. But on occasions, we will form an expansion team if there is enough coaches and players assigned. This has become a new phenomenon within the last 5 years, and this question comes up quite often. Why can't we have tents at our games, and what's the big deal? People want to know, why can't they put up a tent for shade at certain fields? And to be honest with you, the answer is based on safety. Due to the chance that a player could be tackled off the field and onto the sideline, we do not allow tents or chairs within 5 yards of the football field sideline. In cases where the fields are very close, we will allow reasonable chairs, tents allowed in the lower division. And this is based on the fact that force and inertia may not carry players that far over. But tent poles, sticks, rebar, wood PVCs, hard objects pounding the ground, they can quite seriously injure a child and penetrate a child's body and cause harm. And this is one of the main reasons why we do not allow the tents in certain areas. You know, when you stake a tent against the wind, it's great, but not if it's not too close to the field. We know and appreciate and understand this, and everyone has been extremely good about this in the last couple of years. The chairs, we need to work on the chairs. They also need to be far back enough. And we always ask that you roam the sidelines. Don't let loiterers in front of someone's chair, as now they obstruct everything. So if you can continue to help us with that safety issue, your cooperation will be greatly appreciated. Can girls sign up to play football with the boys, and can boys sign up to be cheerleaders? Yes. We encourage girls to play football, and boys can even sign up to cheer. However, from what I'm told, they would be known as yell leaders. If we can't make these registration dates, can we come to someone's home to sign up? Some teams for prior years will ask you to sign up early and offer to take your registration form payment and required documents down to NMYAFL to register the player early to keep them all together. That does happen. This is not a sponsored event by NMYAFL, and we assume no liability for any child who does not receive a placement on the roster of the first 23 players. In short, it can happen, but for whatever reason, Young America Football League will not be responsible for a misplacement or a child not making the first 23. Now, giving a complete registration form, money, and a P&M bill to a prospective coach does not, and I must repeat, does not constitute enrollment into our league, as NMYAFL has no control over when the prospective coach actually turns in the registration form to the league. And additionally, we must have a driver's license number, a date of birth to accept any check to the league. This may delay registration of your child. One of the other questions we had was who takes the parent orientation. The proper procedure would be the individual who signed the release form on the player registration form. That is the individual that is basically signing for that young man or young woman. So if you have any doubts, I know if mom and dad or grandma and grandpa, but it is the individual who signed the release on the player registration who should take the parent orientation exam. This will end the question and answer session. I will leave you with some closing comments. New Mexico NMYAFL will never be as successful as it is without the tireless effort of those volunteers and the support of our league. For that, the board of directors, the administrators, and league officials are extremely grateful to all of you that truly understand that it's all about the children. If you can actively adhere to the 3 Ps, we know your NMYAFL experience will be a wonderful one for you and your child. And those 3 Ps are your presence. Be there physically for your child. Your participation. Get involved with your child's team. And finally, your partnership. Cooperate with your child's coach, his staff, and NMYAFL league officials. We're going to end this at this particular time. As we talked about, there is an orientation exam that you will be taking. We also need you to sign the information for the parental code of conduct. We thank you very much for coming out and viewing this orientation for 2008. I shouldn't have said that.
That's all right. Thank you for coming to this, or what would you say?
Thank you for coming to the parent orientation.
Yeah,
pretty simple.
Or viewing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for coming to this orientation, or if you have the opportunity to view it online at our website. We hope your season is enjoyable, and one of our main objections is that your young man, young woman who plays football or cheer will continue to come back year after year after year. Once again, I thank you all for coming. Have a great evening.